welcome to the first ever Tridentu Linux video. Now, if you probably heard this voice before, for those of you who have, yeah, it's me from the other channel that you may know about. But for those who don't know, well, I usually go by the name Erados12. Anyways, today's video is going to be about Tridentu Linux. And yes, that's exactly what you're seeing on screen here. I also happen to get OBS working on screen, so I think we're pretty much set regarding certain things. Anyways, yeah, by my voice you can tell that things are getting a little bit awkward, so I'll be right back. Alright, back. So I had to clear my voice because for some reason it's kind of raspy right now, or was raspy. Anyways, let's get an overview, or let's just get started in general. So, let's get an overview now. As you can see on screen, I have OBS running. If you don't know what Tridentu is, it's basically a Linux distribution, and it will have its own kernel in the future if I can manage to learn how to do it on x86. But basically, this kernel, or this distribution rather, is kind of like what you see with Manjaro and others, but there's a few differences. For starters, if I can bring it up, hold on, I'll be right back when I do. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, ignore that. That happens a lot. Anyways, as you can see here, this is the console, and if I minimize this, you can do the following. So if I do sudo caravel pm help, and actually, let me not do that with sudo real quick. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Help. That is a real thing. Yes, I'm dead serious. It's real. This is the actual package manager for the entire Tridentu Linux distribution. So it was used on Tridentu-RT, which came before this one. It did not get released due to timing concerns. However, it was real, and that's where this started. As you can see, this uses a few things from what we used to call MAST-TK, which is part of MAST. Now, there will be something called MAST-R in the future when we get to Tridentu-RT for the second time. However, right now, we're focused on this version, which is Tridentu-RK, since it's better for the system to handle. Anyways, you have create package, which creates a .caravel package for distribution. If you don't know what that looks like, it's XZ, which is, I think, the XZ file format for compression. And basically, that holds special files, such as the manifest itself and the installer and uninstaller. Yes, I'm dead serious. It uses Lua scripts to uninstall and install files. Now, you may be wondering, isn't that kind of insecure? Well, luckily, there are measures in place to secure the CMR, which is the Caravel main repository. And those measures include signing packages, and there will be something where if they don't have the same checksum or MD5 checksum, it will fail to install. Anyways, moving on. Find packages. I can show you right now how that works. I cannot show you create package because I don't have any packages on hand that haven't been packaged yet. So I'll do caravel pm find package. And let's try fish, the older version. Oh, wait. Find packages. My bad. As you see here, it may not be the neatest output, but at least it shows you that this works. So you have fish 3.3.1. That's the version that was packaged on RT, like last year before it ended. It is a binary package. You have the Caravel 4, and then you have two others. So the Caravelle for in terms of packaging is binaries, which is this package right here. You have assets, which is for like files like fonts, images, sounds, things like that, and theming too. You have what is it called? Configs, which is dot files. Yes, I'm dead serious. Dot files are actually packaged in the CMR as we speak. And source. Source requires a special language that's under construction called Caravelle script. If you don't know what that is, Caravelle script is basically like CMake, but for Caravelle source packages. Basically, it can construct them or build them, interactively. As you can see, this is a shell and it's running on the Intel i5. This is an i5 machine that I'm running it under. And basically, it's same description you would find on Fish. Smart and user-friendly command line shell for Linux, Mac OS, and the rest of the family. Anyways, let's continue on. So I can do, in fact, you're going to have to do this with sudo caravelle pm install, and I'm going to try something that I haven't tried in a while, or it's mainly to something I haven't used in a while, like maybe 5-6 years. We're going to do cmu. Actually, wait. Let's do cmu right now. Yep, cmu 1.3. And you guessed it, I used to work with TI calculators back in the day. Like 5+ years ago. Anyways, let's install the emulator for this. And yes, it is an emulator. I'm only doing this as a demonstration. Oh, wait. Install packages. My bad. It's supposed to be install package. So install goes like that. And as you can see, it cannot extract the package yet because I just remembered. We have to do sudo remove root. And I'm not removing root, we're removing, I think it's, hold on, let me just list what's in root. Yeah, should be nothing. Anyways, we cannot extract this package because we forgot to put sudo at the end. It is a program or binary. And as you can see, it installed. So if I type in cmu, or is it cmu? You can see that is literally the TI-84CE emulator. Right here. Sadly, we don't have any ROMs because it's been a while since I've used it. But I can also do other things. So if we go up, we can uninstall packages. So if I do that, like this, uninstall package cmu. Hold on. I don't think it uninstalled. Well, that's just one of the discrepancies with the newer version. It was working, and I can verify this. However, there are some problems with the code. So if you want to find the installers, let me just show you that too. You go to this, and you go to Caravelle. Hold on. Uninstall. That's your issue. There's all the uninstallers here, but there's nothing regarding what is it called? The cmu thing. So we're going to have to fix that eventually. So let's move on to the next thing. Okay, with that out the way, oh yeah, this is flickering a lot. Now it's normal. That happens on OBS, but it's okay. Anyways, we're going to put this away. So I'm going to minimize this. And we're going to minimize OBS. I'm going to show you a few things on the desktop. Now, if you open this up, you can see here we've got a lot of things you can do and everything else, right? What if I wanted to open up workspaces? That's the difference between the Kickoff launcher from KDE by default and the Saturn launcher. It has additional features that might help and some visual differences, such as this right here. But as you can see, I can move tiles around like this or like this. Hold on, let me get it right. And this, I can even add a app. Like, for example, I can add vineyards. I can edit the tile. So this is vineyards. And if I'm going to open the icon, I can choose wine as the icon. Like that. And then I could call this vineyards. For those of you who don't know what vineyards is, basically vineyards is a program, by the way, that allows you to edit, or actually not edit, it allows you to run Windows applications. So yes, it does work. And as you can see, even though I might want to edit that again, yeah, text is kind of hard to deal with. So I'm going to make this a little bit more redder, or ready, I guess. I don't know how you say it, but anyways, this is vineyards, or the tile for it. These, Acacia is under construction. Basically, Acacia is the GUI front end to what I showed you earlier, which was Caravel PM. And Firefox is obviously Firefox. Vineyards, well, it's for wine apps. It's like bottles, but it's for this specific distro and Qt in general. And if you look here, I have other workspaces that I can use, or areas I can use for tiles. So if I create one right here, as you can see, this is the difference. These are called workspaces, and they allow you to organize your tiles so that you don't have to keep scrolling through each one. Now, places is under construction as well to a certain extent. So everything is here, but this is for Caravel packages, not for Flatpaks. Yes, I'm dead serious. That's next. So let's get into that. So now we will move on to, you guessed it, Discover. Now, if you look in Settings, you can see we have two main ways of getting applications. One of them is Flatpak. Well, actually, there's three ways. I have not shown you the third yet. But basically, the first way is through Caravel main repository, or CMR. You have your CMR files. You might even have an 8th or 7th type called firmware, but it's not part of the Caravel 4, obviously. Excuse me. Yeah. Anyways, you also have Flatpak, which you can add here. We might add our own Flatpak repository, and maybe one day interface with Flatpak, if that's possible. But let me show you everything else. So you got that, you got that. You have your applications. You can add applications from Flatpak only. You cannot do them with Caravel right now in this particular application due to serious issues with what we're dealing with regarding the backend. Remember, this is different. This is Flatpak. But if you were to use the CMR as the default source, you would need a working package kit backend for this. There's no other backend, basically. And yeah, pretty much. Anyways, you can also see that featured now works, which is odd because in the previous clips, if you were to see this, it would not work at all. So that's something to be grateful for. Anyways, let's show you the next type, which I am about to do right now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we're going to show you, ta-da, app images. Now, I'm not going to show you Kdevelop because I have a lot of stuff on there and you'd probably be overwhelmed at what I'd be working on. However, I can do Hyper. So in order to activate the app images, and yes, it is app images, you would have to click on this twice or click on this after clicking on one of these. So I'm going to do this. Okay, and it should pop up shortly. There you go. You have your Hyper terminal. Close that out. I'm going to show you the other way. Same thing. Still works. Now, there's something else I haven't showed you yet, and that is the list mode. You can go from list to grid to list to grid to list. You get the point. Anyways. However, what if you had an app image you wanted to use? That I can show you as well. So if we go to, I believe it's called System, you can see, or Settings, no, Utilities. You can see here we have the Saturn App Image Editor. And as you can see here, what this does is it allows you to create your own desktop entries in, hold on, let me open it. In fact, I'm going to have to pause this for a minute. Alright, so I'm back. And this is where they are. So as you can see here, I have a lot of stuff in this distro here. There's a reason for it all, because I'm currently developing it. However, this is Hyper, and that is Kdevelop. So as you can see, Kdevelop is, well, for developing applications on this system and any other place that uses KDE. Hyper is a terminal. Yes, I'm serious, a terminal emulator. So basically, these are desktop entries. And these desktop entries, if I were to show you, actually, let me show you again. This is a terminal emulator, that's an IDE. So these are where you would find the app images, basically. And the thing about that is that whenever you're dealing with any of these, you usually go up here, like I said before, and you click either one of them. Now, I'm not going to show you the source code today. That'll be another time. It's all on GitHub if you need it, except for a few things, which will be put on shortly, but I haven't been able to do it in the past, let's see, 2 weeks, because I had to finish up something important on Windows. Yes, I work on both. Don't shame me for it. Anyways, let's get into the next portion. So we're going to close this out, and I'm going to go back to it. So yeah, you can clearly see it. Basically, terminal emulator and Kdevelop. I'm doing this 3 times just to make sure you see it. Anyways, let's keep moving.